graduate student here at Montana State University in the Plant Sciences Department. I'm here to talk about the research that I'm conducting inside of these high tunnels located at the horticulture farm in Bozeman, Montana. I'm standing inside of what we call the SERP tunnels. That stands for Season Extension Research Project, and is named that because of the value that these high tunnel structures provide in extending the season for vegetable growers here in Montana's short growing season. Optimizing soil fertility management in these settings is especially important for the producer's ability to make the best use out of the limited sunlight and growing degree days available to them. After polling growers that utilize high tunnels, we quickly discovered that soil fertility management was among the top challenges that they faced in making the best out of these structures. You see, because of the ability for these tunnels to extend the growing season, farmers can often have 2 or even 3 crops in one season, and this places an extraordinary demand on the soil and can deplete it of its resources. That is why we wrote and received a grant from the Montana Department of Agriculture, a specialty crop block grant that is titled Plant Nutrition and Soil Fertility Management in High Tunnel Vegetable Production. This is part of a season extension research project aimed to provide management strategies that help producers maximize high tunnel production and overcome challenges that come with growing in our cold northern climate. The project is testing the effects of 5 different types of organic soil amendments on the yield of cucumbers and tomatoes and on temporal nitrogen levels in the soil. Organic soil fertility relies on the breakdown of organic matter for nutrients to become available. The rate of decomposition and subsequent nutrient availability to plants is primarily influenced by temperature, moisture, and the makeup of organic matter itself, specifically the ratio of carbon to nitrogen molecules. Organic matter with higher concentrations of nitrogen generally contribute nitrogen to plants more immediately, while matter that has lower concentrations of nitrogen break down more slowly and provide nutrients over a longer period. This research is studying organic amendments that have differing concentrations of nitrogen in order to better understand the mineralization dynamics. The organic soil amendments that we chose are commonly used by farmers in this state. For this study, the 6 treatments we used, in descending order of nitrogen concentration, were blood meal at 13%, soy pellets at 7%, chicken manure compost at 3%, and a dairy manure compost at 1.6%. We also included an unamended control and a bed that received 2 times the amount of the dairy manure compost, because it is common practice for farmers to apply compost in high tunnels every other year or so. Now for this study, we applied the same amount of nitrogen to each experimental bed. Because each amendment had a different concentration of nitrogen, this meant that varying amounts of each product were applied. We then applied the amendment, rototilled in the soil, laid plastic mulch over each bed for moisture retention and weed control, and then planted our tomatoes and cucumbers. We will be tracking yield for cucumbers and tomatoes, and will also be taking bi-weekly measures of soil nitrate. Our hope is to be able to better inform producers about the pros and cons of different types of soil amendments to best support the increased cropping intensities that these high tunnels can support. We also have a replicate site in Corvallis, Montana in the Bitterroot Valley, the location of the Western Agricultural Research Center. The soil here has different characteristics and the climate is a bit warmer. We hope to use this data to better understand how different types of organic soil amendments may behave in a dynamic range of conditions. A big thanks to Kirsten Hubble, Zach Miller, and the crew in Corvallis for managing this research site. I wanted to thank you for tuning in to this virtual tour with me. With this research, we hope to provide information that will be useful to high tunnel producers in determining the type and the timing of application of soil amendments in organic settings. Stay tuned in the coming years to learn what we find.